Movies of the year. Yes, you did. I was blown away by this movie when I saw it in Cannes and by these performances, and I'm going to introduce you to the star of the film, one of the two stars of the film, Adèle Exarchopoulos. And this is Fred, and Fred is her interpreter, should she need one. Fred did not co-star in the film, so, all right. Okay, well, congratulations on this. I know you've been everywhere with this movie. I remember seeing you in Cannes, and you won the Palme d'Or, which was unprecedented because it usually just goes to the director, but it went also to the two actresses, which I thought was phenomenal. But that's how impressed that jury, led by Spielberg, was. What was that experience like for you?
It was my first Cannes festival, and it was like huge. Before we were thinking that reaction will be more divided, like people hate and people love, and everyone almost like it. And after like the ceremony, it was like a dream. I mean, you doesn't really realize because you never dare to have such a prize at 18, and yeah, it was cool.
You are the youngest winner ever of the Palme d'Or. You are. And that's a big honor. Yes. How did this all come about for you? This whole movie. I mean, this is like, you know, obviously the reaction's been pretty wild throughout the world to it. But how did you get involved in it in the first place?
Audition. Yeah.
Simple as that.
I like go like all the other girls and spend 2 months to make different improvisation with different people, and I was lucky because I have good people in front of me, and that helps a lot. And I have to make a scene where I'm telling my boyfriend that I meet a girl, I cross the road and crush on her, and since I saw this girl, I'm kind of obsessed. Ça veut pas dire énervé, ça? Okay, obsessed, and I'm ashamed, but also I'm so exciting. And after one day, someone called me and tell me like Abdellatif want to meet you, and I was like, okay. So I come into a coffee, and it was our first meeting. It was weird because he's weird. I mean, you know, he stay in silence, observe you during a long time. Doesn't really speak, you know, doesn't tell you like what do you want to do, so I was after this meeting I was like, I think I failed and I will never have this movie. And they called me again, and during 2 months I saw Abdel start to conversing and share a lot of things, and it was weird. He was testing me, asking me to make some sport even if I was not picked, and also Léa Seydoux was already picked, but he asked me to play his role during the audition, a role, and to make people pass for my own role. So I was like, what I'm doing, but I never dare to ask, so I do it. And one day on this same coffee, he told me, you're free, it's you. And I was so shocked, I was like, okay. And after, when I go out of the cafe, I was like...
That's great.
Yeah, that's cool.
The movie's gotten a lot of interesting reactions, but I think, you know, one of the most interesting I saw was Steven Spielberg when he stood up at the jury and he said, for them, it was pure love story. Could have been anybody. It didn't have to be two women. It could have been anybody. It's a universal love story. Is that what you responded to when you read the script, when you got involved with it?
Yeah, like it's real because... before, during, and after the shoot, we will never speak about like homosexual ways to having sex or homosexual love story or lesbian. No words like this on the set. We were just talking about like feelings, and yeah, and that's all. He was just like telling me I want to make a love story, and it started from something really simple, like two people were meeting and how someone can change your life.
What was it like on the set working? Did you know Léa Seydoux at all before this?
By name, because she's really famous in France. And the first scene we done together was a sex scene, the dream scene. So when you meet someone naked, it's so different. I mean,
that'd be a good title of a book.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. We were like we say hello, and 2 minutes after we're naked. Like, okay, let's do this. And yeah, it helps because there is no hypocrisy, or you doesn't try to force things. To try to be friends because of the shoot. Everything comes so naturally. Like, she's more experienced than me, so I was feeding from her because she's really good, and I was lucky to play with her. And yeah, and it really helps to introduce you naked. I mean, you're vulnerable. There is no checking hands and like you're just like yourself, and you have to make body language. So I meet her on the shoot.
How do you approach a scene like that, a nude scene like that? How do you put you in your mind as an actor? How do you do that?
It was one of my first scene like this, like naked and sex scene both. So we were aware. Abdellatif told us, like, I want to treat this scene like the other one, like a food scene, like a high school scene. I doesn't want to make like beautiful lights, 2 minutes of beautiful sexy movement. I want to be close as I can from reality. And like I understood that he wanted to be in intrusion in a bedroom of two people who love each other and who are discovering skin and what they love and share feelings. So there is no choreography. And at the beginning I was like afraid, because it helps when someone say like, put you here, you are on her or she's on you. It's like he rolls, but Abdellatif doesn't want that. So he just tell us the situation. It's your first time, you let her drive. So I was like, okay, she have to drive me, that's cool. I just have to let me go and abandon myself, don't think about nothing, and don't think about like the 6 people who are next to me. Because actually there was like only 2 camera, Abdellatif, 2 assistant of camera, and they're like here, so. And and you really have to lose yourself, in fact, to abandon yourself, not be conscious of nothing and let it go. But it was funny actually, because he really wants us to like make the evolution of this sexuality, because sexuality evaluated all the time. Yeah, right? Okay. And so we try a lot of things, and sometimes we come on the set and we're like, it works like this? You think it could be possible? And we try so many different positions. So it was funny.
I heard also that in addition to the sexual scenes, the sexual appetite, as it were, you had to eat a lot on this. Yeah, eat. Yeah.
It's the eating scene was so much difficult than the sex scene. No, really. I mean, I have some trauma from this scene. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm serious.
Sex scenes, no problem. This scene?
Because you have to be naked, kiss, love, stimulated, and the food scene, you start from the beginning, like all the team of the shoot prepare the spaghetti, and you're like, tonight we're gonna make the spaghetti scene. So, and you make all the scene like pasta by pasta, and you have to finish all the meal, or he's yelling at you, like, you eat, you like this. And so, wow. And so you start to eat, it's the first take, so you eat a lot. It's stupid, but it's like this. And he makes so many takes, like he can make like 100 takes for a scene, and he can spend 1 week on a scene, like 7 days for the prog scene, the first time I kiss her. And and the food scene, for example, the first one with my boyfriend, when we share a kebab, it was like 8 in the morning. We were at a market in Lille, the city where we shoot, and we eat like, I don't know, 6 kebab, but I don't know if you realize, like with the sauce and everything. And so we were like, we have to vomit and try again. We were like, and this is my trauma. Even in Paris, when every food store are closed, I can't eat this. Like my boyfriend say, yeah, there is only the kebab one with closed. And I'm like, no, I can die, but I don't eat this anymore. Never.
Oh my God. That sounds rough. This guy was a slave driver. He was. This director. I've read all the controversy about working with him, but ultimately, do you still like him? Is he?
Yeah, it's more complicated than this. I mean, he gave me the chance of my life. He's a genius. He makes cinema like no one makes cinema. He's taking risks like no one. But He's passionate, you know. He sacrificed everything for cinema, and sometimes it's hard to follow because he wants you to lose yourself. He wants everything to be real. There is no hair makeup. I mean, this is not important, but he make many takes, and he wants you to abandon yourself. And sometimes it's so hard to follow him. And yeah, it was hard. I mean, all the geniuses have their own complexity. I think Hitchcock was not a nice guy. Coppola, no. I don't know. In fact, I don't know Coppola. But, no, but
I don't either. I don't know. He might be. He might not.
I heard that during Apocalypse Now, it was one of the like hardest shoot. People were drugs on the jungle by their own. Like, yeah, we're shooting, and so I think all the genius have this kind of complexity, and they can be like angel and devil sometimes.
But they get stuff on the screen that was really, in the end, you looked at that movie, and I'm curious too. The movie opened in France about 3 weeks before it opened here, sort of a short window, unusually for a French film. What is the different kind of reactions that you got in France to this film as opposed to here in America, now that you've been here for a few days?
The sex scene. Like here, everyone is focused on them. Here, people are more prude.
Prudent.
Yeah.
Prudish.
I mean, this is not like a critical or something. It's just like a constatation. It exists.
She notices it, yeah. A remark.
Yeah, a remark. Everyone is focused on this scene. I heard that people from some agencies send their lesbian girl to analyze the sex scene. And everyone, yeah. No, I mean, how could you just analyze a sex moment? Like, no one do this. There is so many different ways to having sex. Or you can say, oh, today you're going to see this movie of 3 hours and just analyze the 7th minute of sex. It's so stupid. Like, this is just sex. There is nothing to say. There is not a right or wrong way to having sex. And they, like, send lesbian girl, but in the movie, I'm not lesbian. I just love someone, you know. This is my first girls. So there is not one way to drive someone. I mean, but yeah, and people ask me this question like a child, you know, like when your father tell you, like, don't watch this DVD, and when you go to work, you just watch it, and you're disturbing, but also exciting. It's the same here. They ask me question about it, and they're like, I don't know, it's weird. People are more tolerant, not tolerant, but not so focused on this scene, but also, but less.
It's interesting. The rating here is NC-17. They went out with an NC-17, which means no one under 17 can even get in. And this is a great story, I think, for teenagers. You know, I think it's a shame that they can't see this, but they can go out and see, like, explicit violence, no problem, PG-13.
That's why it's weird here. I mean, you can, here, I'm 19, I can buy a gun, but I can't drink a beer. And like there is blood everywhere in your movie, traffic, drug, but there is never sex. No, I mean, it's weird. It's really a contradiction. We escape from us because we doesn't understand. And for the forbidden things about like under 17, it's hard. I mean, it's just before a porno. Yeah, I think it's too bad because teenager will like this movie, I think, because it speaks also about this transition of your age when you go through a lot of experience will feed you and also will lose you sometime, who could like destroy you or make you grow up, whatever happening. So yeah, I think it's too bad. But I heard that Kirikou, you know Kirikou?
The animation film called Kirikou?
You don't know the little black...
Oh, yeah.
The African women, ils ont flouté leur sein.
They're bare-chested in the animation, and they had to blur the breasts.
And that's so weird because, yeah, in Africa it's like this, and it's not like a demonstration of sexuality. People just are like this, so it's weird.
Well, welcome to our repressed society here. Let's talk to some of the oppressed out here. Jack Walker wants to know, well, this is sort of in line with what we talked about. What extreme measures did the director use to get the performances he wanted? And did you protest any of these? You talked a little bit about that, but did he use any kind of extreme measure that...
He speak a lot during the shoot. Like during, he speak a lot. I don't know, it's so hard to resume because every day was new. Nothing was conventional. Like there is no like at this time we're gonna do this and after. Like sometime we were just working and we were like, okay, Abdel, so what we gonna do today? And he was like, I don't know. I think you're gonna eat a cheeseburger and cry. And I was like, and I was okay. And after and was like, I don't know. We're gonna try in this scene and this scene. There is a lot of improvisation in the movie. We've got a huge freedom of the space. I mean, if I made a scene here, Abdel tell me like you can go on the street, go on the toilet, and they will follow you everywhere. And also all the time, he can let you take the pleasure to make an improvisation during 1 hour, even if I think he already know that he never gonna put this in his movie. He'll let you play, and yeah, he's hard. He really wants you to abandon yourself. He's working when you're really exhausting in a kind of second state. And yeah, sometimes it could feeding you from things, life, during like 6 hours, and sometimes it doesn't tell you nothing. And he also, I think he believes in the unconscious work, you know, like in your mind, memory, and soul. Because sometimes, I mean, even when he gave me the script, he was like, I want you to read it once, but after you forget, you don't focus. And sometimes he come before a scene and he tell you once alone, and he's like, no, but forget it. And it makes his own way.
All right, now we have, I can't pronounce this name, Kyvyarf? Kyvyarf? Kyvyari? Something like that. Kyvyaki. That's you? Okay. It says, Adele, congratulations. Do you speak Greek? Do you speak Greek?
I speak Greek.
And are you planning on being in, not freak films, Greek films? Of course, your last name is completely Greek. So.
Yeah, he is. But no, everyone is so disappointed, but I have not really a link with the Greece. I mean, I go there once for the promotion, and it was so weird. People was finding people from my family, like, oh, this is the cousin of your father, and I was like, because yeah, people like think I'm really Greek, but no, I just know Kalispera. I think it's mean like hi, but yeah, why not? I want to make movie like everywhere. I just need to fall in love with a meeting with someone with a story, and just want to give justice to a character.
Have you gotten a lot of offers since this film of movies that you would like to do or scripts that you do like?
Yeah, yes, some. Yeah, it's true that the Palme d'Or give you more credibility and light. So yeah, but nothing really concrete. Okay.
This is from. This is from Mark. This is more on what more obsession on these scenes. Were love scenes awkward with all the cameras and lights and crew around? Did you have a big crew watching this? And
yeah, because 2 camera is implicated, like 4 people, and Abdellatif was like on the restroom, but we can feel him, you know. He's yelling. There was the bathroom, but he's like, yeah, you are. So it's like if he is on the, it's like with these small things. The sound guy. So yeah, we were all like 6 or 7, but it's so funny. At the beginning, we were so shy. We asking things during the scene, and at the end, we're like naked. Not all the time, but you know, you became. I mean, you forgot. When they watching you simulate. Yeah, act the love scene during like 20 minutes. After, you don't really care if you're just like sitting naked and listening and waiting for the technical people to make their job. You're like, we were almost, I mean, we were in underwear or something, but we were like almost naked eating sushi and wait for these people. Leah's gonna kill me.
Mark has a part 2. Who is Mark? Where is Mark? There's Mark right there. Was it made clear at the audition that you would have to act in these scenes? That's always an interesting question for actors. Did you know everything up front that you were required to do?
Yeah. He told me. Like, I think twice, la seconde fois que je l'ai rencontré.
The second time she met
The
him.
second time, you tell me like, are you ready to be naked and to make like sex scene? And when you want a role, you're like, yeah, of course I am. And I was like, yeah, I want to. And he told me I doesn't want to be afraid or shy. I want to show everyone how much it could be visceral and organic between two people. And when I understand what the director wants from me and what he wants me to do this, I can make it. But if it's just for free, it's...
It's for the greater good.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Rick Barons. Rick? Barreras. Okay. Do you find agents at all useful in today's market? And how do you go about finding your agent? Well, this is a practical question. So, do you like your agent?
Yeah. I'm in good hands here, really. In France or here?
Where?
Both. I mean both. Yeah, because I think for me the most important thing is to have access to audition. And there is so many good people who haven't got this access because they have no agent, so they doesn't even know that there is one audition. So yes, for me, of course, it's helpful because after you go to the audition and you have to prove yourself if you can do this or not. And there is so many different ways to act and to see a character. But for me, yeah, the most important thing is the audition. And I was so lucky that one day a cast director came when I was 12 in this class, improvisation, that I've made just for put my energy somewhere. And after I meet my agent, and I remember I was like 12 in his desk, doesn't understand nothing about what he was telling me. I was like, yeah, let's try. I was learning my text in the subway before all this cast, and he bring me here. If he will never talk to me, I will never be here. So yeah, of course, I think it's important. That's why agents like choose say no, I don't want you. Yes, I want you. It's because when you're an actress, it helps a lot to have someone who sell you.
And how did you get your first agent? Which leads to how did you get into acting in the first place?
My parents told me choose something, but put your energy somewhere. And I was like 8, and I was like, okay, so I make improvisation class, and they tell me, okay, so I integrate a small group, like it was really like small friends, we pick words and make improvisation, and it was so hard sometimes, like you pick carrot and you have to make an improvisation in group or lonely. And after at 12, a cast director came and told me, I want you to pass the casting for this movie. I go. I was not picked, and it was really not a big deal for me because I doesn't even know what it was to be a movie. For me, making a movie, it was like let roll the camera and make all the movie in a day. For me, there is no cut and traffic things. So, and after, I didn't know that in a small middle, everyone was pass your video and say, oh, look this one, oh, look this one. So one day, they called me for making a short movie. I succeed the cast, so I go 1 week in Brittany. And on this shoot, an actor speak about me to his agent, who contacted me, and I was on this desk. I was telling my father, "Are you agree?" And he told me, "Yeah, the deal. You have good marks. You go shoot." And I was like, "Okay." And shoot by shoot, I mean, I failed a lot of cast, and the one I succeed, I realized that if it could be my job, I want it to be my job because, like, I love the human adventure. I love the fact, you create something with other people, and that's cool.
I like that. You love the human adventure. That's a great way of describing it for an actor, too. You mentioned improv there, in the beginnings. Did you do improv in this picture, too, or was it all...
Improvisation?
Improvisation, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of scenes are improvisation. You are free. For example, the music, the guy who making music in the street, it was like one of the actors, the one who played my boyfriend at the beginning, who show to Abdel a video and say, okay, take class and he will see. We make a scene where he's making this, but she's not on the movie. So he take the music from making in his movie. So many scenes are improvisation. I mean, he give you a situation, some sentence that he really want you to say, and after you can add and pick things, but he always control what you said. But yeah, it's not conventional. For example, for making un traveling.
Tracking shot.
Tracking shot, like here you have big material for like make roll the camera like this. And one day we were like on the city, and a guy who have bike tourists, like tuk-tuk in Bangkok. You bring 2 tourists behind you, and you're like pushing them. And Abdellatif say, hey, can I try your bike for making, like, put the camera and the 5 people who are with me and try to make the scene? And he was like, yeah, why not? And like 20 minutes after, he say, hey, you want to work in my movie? And the guy say, yeah. And so he stopped his job his bike. We buy the bike, and he was on the team. Another girl was like, hey, I'm looking for a stage.
Internship?
From my high school, do you think I can? And at the end, she was like, she was making the sound of the movie. Even me, if I want to like filming a scene, I was like, no, but I'm scared. If she make a perfect scene and I just like, I don't know, I shake or I miss something or I forgot to put on the good button, and it was like, no, film the scene. So everyone was making everything.
Wow. It's an unusual way of making movies. Colleen? Yep. Hi. There you are. What is the one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you first started? About acting. What's the one thing you know now after your experience in the business so far that you wish you knew when you first started? Have you learned anything, in other words, that is valuable for you?
Yeah, but many things I don't know. To never watch me play, to share with people I work with a lot, to never trust journalists. Like
Good lesson. That's the most important
Yeah,
one.
I think too. Like me, when I feel confident with someone, I speak, and after, yeah, every people in Paris call me and say, "What you've done?" I'm like, nothing. I'll just be honest. Yeah, that's really an important one. Like, because some of these guys are like freak. You know, you speak with them in the elevator, or not even with them. They're like here, and you're speaking with your friend. And you say, "Yeah, I moved with my boyfriend like 2 days before," and the next day you see on the paper, she told me that she moved with, and you're like, "Well, I never told you this." Yeah, they're like insane. Yeah, I think, and like to never be scared to give a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's a lot to learn. How old are you? 19, 20?
19.
19.
I'm gonna have 20 in 2 days.
Oh, you are? Oh, nice. All right.
Thank you.
Nice. Happy birthday. That's great. Okay. Because I ran out of cards here, but you've seen the movie now, so I bet you have some other questions. So go ahead, right here.
Bonsoir. Merci.
I want to know about like your progress as you age through the film, how you kind of changed your character or changed how you kind of attacked her mindset.
Yeah. At the beginning, we were supposed to make a pause when she broke up and when she became a teacher, like, I don't know, like 1 month of pause, and I was supposed to losing weight because she was supposed to be really depressed. But it's weird because 3 weeks before the end of the shoot, Abdellatif doesn't know the end of the movie. He was like, I was supposed to killing myself by medicine. And after he said, no, I think you crossed the window. And after he told me, no, you're gonna go in the sea, and after we're gonna see emergency on the sea, and Emma is warning, and after he told me, no, you're just gonna leave and make your own road. And I was like, okay, you're sure? And so, but at the end, we waste time, so that we doesn't have time to make pause. So we have to find some subtle details pour rythmer son évolution.
To give a rhythm to her evolution.
Mais vraiment des choses subtiles, par exemple, monter son pantalon, des choses qui montraient toute sa maladresse.
So subtle things like how she pulls her pants up to show her awkwardness.
Et après, he hates makeup, so we just put some black clothes for make me more skinny. And it was, we shoot chronologically, so it helped me a lot to like being through all these different situations, and after to be alone. Léa has finished the shoot and I was alone in front of 20 kids. And I was quite depressed because it was weird. And and so it helps me, I think, chronologically. And after small details they give me, they put in.
Well, I wish we had more time. They just gave me the wrap signal, unfortunately. She has a big schedule here. But let's thank Adèle for coming out here.
Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Thank you so much.